it's so such a special and beautiful creature. It's like a flying jewel. The hope we can get from seeing these flying jewels and like the beauty of it, and like the things that we take for granted, you know, things that we don't even bother to see. My name is Maria Berrio, and I am an artist. I live and work in Brooklyn, New York. I come from South America. I was born in Colombia, and I grew up in Bogota, but we had a farm outside of the city. And I started to work on this series of hummingbirds during the pandemic. And it started with this idea of the Mojave people who believed that humans were underground, and then that a hummingbird came and brought humans into the light. Having in mind what we were going through during the pandemic, I thought it was a very meaningful subject to start this series of crafting 100 hummingbirds made out of paper. So that's how the series emerged, with that idea. And then I started to research more about hummingbirds, and I started to research what they signify in different cultures. And let's say the Aztecs thought of hummingbirds as warriors. So it all started to resonate with what humans were going through and what we were all living. With the hummingbirds, I find such magic when you make one, because it's like you are kind of starting out of nothing, and then you glue all these pieces of paper and you do like watercolor paint, and then suddenly you see like a creature. And it brings so much fantasy, and it brings so much mystery. Like the intention, the main intention when I started this series was this idea of coming into the light, very hopeful idea of seeing all these birds flying around you. But also, in a sense, I also want to create some sort of awareness of like how disconnected we feel with nature, and how we are nature. There's a bittersweetness, like there is hope, but there's also the reality. So a lot of my work has that. Like I kind of take snippets of what we're going through, but then I put them through a fantastical lens. So I think this piece is going to have both. It's going to have birds that are alive and birds that are dead. Birds have always been in my work and have always had some sort of symbolism. In this particular series, it's just this idea of this magical being that exists, but that may not exist because of us. They started to become that, like a little diary of during the pandemic, after the pandemic, and like as like this path of us coming out of this, or staying in it, or falling down a bit. I feel like art has always been like a diary, in a sense. Like I usually like create bodies of work that like narrate a story, but there's always like a hopeful piece. To me, beauty and hope in the work is very important.